Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's great to see you. I have a wonderful place to share with you this week. Europe is a very busy destination with tourism, especially places like London, Venice, Paris. But have you ever heard of the Azores? Well, this week I'm going to be sharing with you São Miguel, one of the main islands here. There's a lot to do, there's a lot to see, and I can't wait to share it with you this week.
And in today's video, we will explore the main town and see the sights and experience some of the incredible, unique culture here. We'll also go whale watching and we'll be surrounded by dozens of bottlenose dolphins. And finally, we'll hike around the stunning landscapes that these islands have to offer.
So let's pick things up in Madeira a couple of days ago, because I want to share how I got here and my first impressions, because I think it's very important that you know some of the details of what it's like when you first land, and then we'll get really stuck into the mountains, into the towns, and into the beautiful scenery of the Azores. Enjoy. Right, my bags are packed and we are leaving Madeira today. We're going to be catching a quick flight, about 50 minutes further out to sea. And if you're wondering where we're going to the Azores. And if you're thinking, where's that? I've never heard of that. Let me tell you as I make my way to the airport.
The Azores are just an hour flight from Madeira. It was bittersweet to leave this beautiful island. Madeira had been wonderful and I can't wait to come back. But now we are heading somewhere much less travelled and much more mysterious, and so I couldn't wait to get a move on. Arriving at the Madeiran airport, it was a little bit confusing actually. It turns out I'm actually on the flight to New York, but it does stop in the Azores en route to drop a few people off. Here at the Madeiran airport, you can actually watch the planes come in to land, and there was a lot of drama today. The wind was up and the planes were not landing.
The last 3 planes that have tried to land have had to go around. I think it's too windy for them to land. Hopefully mine can land safely.
That was the 3rd and final attempt for that EasyJet flight to land from London Gatwick. It now has to limp back to the mainland of Lisbon to refuel. Flying to Madeira and to the Azores comes with some risks. Let's just hope that the wind dies down in time for my flight to land safely and we can get a move on.
The wind has really picked up again. I really hope my plane can land. It's coming in. I'm just tracking it on my phone. It's coming in for the final turn. Okay, here she comes. Come on, baby, you can do it. Oh, I can't even hold my phone still. The wind. This is not a good sign. This is not a good sign. Come on. Come on, son. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Touchdown, put the wheels down. Put the wheels down. Slam on the brakes. Woo! Looks like we're going to the Azores.
Yeah, our plane landed safely and we were on our way. The flight time from Madeira to São Miguel was about 45 minutes and the flight was pleasant, quick and thankfully no turbulence.
Made it. Woohoo!
For €10, you can get a taxi from just outside the airport to the main town of Ponta Delgada.
Okay, welcome to my home. Whilst I'm here, my base of operations of exploring the Azores. This place is called Casa Conforto, I think, and I've got a really nice room and nice bathroom. Breakfast is included every single morning, and it comes with a view of the clock tower in the center of town. So we're right in the middle, right in the heart of everything. First impressions, this place is colorful, vibrant, historical, very interesting, and I can't wait to get stuck in and really get to know this beautiful place. And And the sun is shining, the sky is blue. So let's get a move on.
As you can tell, Ponta Delgada is the main entry point for most travellers arriving in the Azores. The airport connects the island to the mainland of Portugal and several international destinations, so it's the perfect blend of local Azorean culture and European accessibility. Ponta Delgada's old town features striking black and white lava stone buildings, gorgeous churches, and the iconic city gates that welcomed ships for over hundreds of years from all around the world. Yes, down here by the marina, there was much more going on, and
there's a little bit more going on here. This seems to be the waterfront inside the harbour. A little bit of a fairground for the kids. All the kids seem to be off school. You've got some people playing football. There's a little Aperol stand. You can get yourself a nice Aperol spritz. There's a bloke out there catching some wind. There is an incredible view of the luscious green mountains. I think that's really what I'm excited about the most. There's also lots of whale watching tours being sold here. That obviously could be incredible. We're so far out into the Atlantic and it is whale watching season, so maybe we should give that a go as well. I don't have anything booked in the Azores other than my accommodation. The main goal for coming here was to kind of explore it in a rustic, raw way, make the plan up as we go along and just try and catch the wind and see if it can take us up into adventure. Hopefully we'll catch a bit more wind than this bloke. He's doing all right, bless him.
it was turning into quite the welcome. This festival had brought most of the locals out from the villages to the town.
Right, I think we found where everybody is. They're on the main strip. Turns out there's some sort of festival for the next few days. So I think that's why the kids have got a lot of the school holidays. That's why everyone's out with their family, enjoying the sun. There's lots of food, there's lots of drinks, toys, balloons, lots of kids knocking about. Good first impressions. There's a real family atmosphere here. And that's not surprising, living in such a remote place. If people stick together, they're more likely to enjoy their lives more. And everyone here seems to have a big smile on their face. Oh. Hi there. Can I try one of these? Yeah. And can I also try some of that black pudding? That looks like sausage. That looks like black pudding.
Chorizo.
Chorizo.
Chicken sausage.
Okay, and this is black pudding?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
Sagres, really good Sagres. In Portuguese, do caralho.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, boy.
What a good start. We've arrived, we've checked in, we've unpacked, and we have some delicious food. So, I think you could hear me speaking to the bloke selling me the sandwich. It's a week-long festival. This was not planned. I did not know this was happening. It does make me worry that things will be closed all week, but hopefully it all works out for the best. Anyway, I am really hungry, so I've got this mixed platter right here. We've got chicken sausage, chorizo, and black pudding. I also decided I had to try one of these sandwiches. Looks like it's cured ham, like prosciutto, loads of melted cheese in there, and the bread looks delicious. And of course, a crisp, cold beer, draft Sagres. I only know this from sponsoring the Portuguese national team, and it tastes great. Oh, that is so good. Right, let's try. That's one of the best beers I've ever had. Chicken sausage. Oh, it's really soft and mushy. 3 out of 10. Black pudding. Oh yeah, black pudding is a 9 out of 10. This is good. Oh yeah. Let's try some of this prosciutto. Wow. That is delicious. The prosciutto is spicy. The cheese is melted to perfection. And the bread is soft and delicious and freshly baked. Okay, this was worth the 20 euros. Cheers to the Azores. Great first impression.
People were partying in the streets, there was food and drink everywhere, and the central church was the main hub of activity for people taking time to pray and worship. The good weather also meant that everyone was enjoying the rock pools, the ocean. It was just good vibes in every direction.
Wherever you're traveling this summer, it doesn't matter if you're going somewhere remote and beautiful like the Azores, you need to be protecting yourself online, and that's why I use the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN, to protect myself online. NordVPN encrypts your personal data, keeps you safe whenever you're using Wi-Fi in cafes, restaurants, hotels. It keeps those pesky scammers and hackers at bay. My favorite feature on NordVPN is actually being able to switch your location, which is good for traveling for two reasons. The first is, even before you go traveling, you can switch your location when you're searching for flights, because different countries and different airlines charge you a different amount depending on where you're searching from. Unbelievable, I know, but a great hack, because sometimes you can save yourself some money. And the second reason is, after a long day hiking or exploring, you get back to the safety of your hotel room and you just want to relax and watch your favorite shows. But some countries are not the same in terms of libraries of content for Netflix and other streaming platforms, but you switch your location back to your home country and you can continue to watch your favorite shows and movies. NordVPN have an exclusive deal for you. If you head to nordvpn.com/Paddy Doyle, you'll actually unlock 4 bonus months for free on any purchase of a 2-year plan. They're also going to throw in their amazing Threat Protection Pro, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's the perfect time to give it a go. So yes, head to nordvpn.com/Paddy Doyle to unlock those bonus 4 months, plus they'll throw in Threat Protection Pro and that 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring our channel, and let's get back to the beautiful Azores.
In the evening, I dipped into a local hostel. I wasn't staying here, obviously, but hostels are a great place to meet fellow travelers, especially if you travel solo like me. This one had a garden, great food, and I met lots of cool travelers from all around the world here. Don't worry, I'll put the link in the description, as well as everywhere else that I visit during this video. And then after a few beers, I dipped into a local restaurant.
Okay, so this restaurant comes very recommended. It's a very rustic Portuguese restaurant that specializes in local seafood. Anyway, go where the locals go and go where the food is fresh. So I've ordered a selection of dishes, quite reasonably priced as well. So I'll show you what I've ordered.
The first dish was a cheese and walnut wrap. Apparently it's really popular, but it was really dry and disappointing. Then I had some prawns, they weren't very good either, and some fried octopus, which was completely overcooked. I wanted to mention this because the food in the Azores was hit and miss, so make sure you do your own research. My top tip, ask the locals where to go. Don't follow the herds. Anyway, we'll eat plenty of good food later, but for now, let's have a quick beer in the pub and watch the match, and then it would be back out to enjoy more of the local festival. These girls were awesome. They sang songs of praise, they sang songs of Portuguese folklore, and they even had a few classics from the Gypsy Kings. Their voices sang out so beautifully, and it really added to the peaceful and tranquil atmosphere tonight. It really had been the perfect welcome to the Azores.
The church looked nice during the day, but my God, look at it at night.
The next morning, it was time to head out and experience an activity that these islands are very famous for, and as you'll see, quite rightly so.
Okay, good morning. It's a cloudy, overcast morning. Hopefully good weather to go out and do some whale watching. I booked a whale watching tour yesterday. Thought it was quite reasonable. It was around €60. It's with this company here, Futurismo, and they have two options. You can go out on a catamaran, which means a bit more comfort, a bit more people, or you can go out on the Zodiacs, which means a bit more speed, maybe a bit more bumpy, but the ability to go a bit quicker and get to where the whales are when they're surfacing, when they're breathing for air before they go down. And I think that would be a bit more adventurous, hopefully a bit easier, and a way to get closer to the whales and to the dolphins if we see any. It's not guaranteed, but when I did inquire yesterday at this company, they had a sign where they had a list of all of the whales that they saw the previous few days, and according to their sign, they're seeing whales every single day. So I booked it, so let's go check in. And I brought my nice long lens and hopefully I can get some great shots for you, and hopefully we can see some whales.
After a quick briefing in the office, it was time to start the trip, and so we began boarding our Zodiac.
All aboard?
This was our guide. She was a very knowledgeable marine biologist, and she was full of interesting information about all of these marine mammals. All of these species, by the way, on this wall are local to the Azores. And she told us that the chances of seeing wildlife today were very high, something you don't always hear on tours like these in other parts of the world. The weather wasn't great. The winds were up and the swells were a bit high, but the Zodiacs made light work of the waves.
It's a bit choppy.
But the Zodiacs did great work on the waves, and so we all enjoyed the ride out to sea. All of the whale watching companies have spotters back on the island. They use powerful binoculars from high positions to better spot where the whales and the pods of dolphins are out to sea. And after about 20 minutes, we heard on the radio that there was some activity for us to check out. As we got closer, our guide told us where to look, and we all began to keep an eye out for a whale that was spotted coming up every few minutes to breathe. Very exciting stuff. It wasn't the best shot, I know. Even with this camera and this expensive lens that I bought, with these waves and these skies, it was a bit tricky to get shots of the whale. And it was even harder to predict where it would breach next. But before we could make a plan where to go next, something truly magical happened, right before our eyes.
This is so nice.
Yes, a huge pod of bottlenose dolphins just surrounded us out of nowhere. There was easily over a dozen of them. There was mothers with their young, and there were just so many curious eyes coming up to check us all out. Honestly, this was an amazing experience and I'll never forget this moment. After about 30 minutes with the dolphins, another huge whale came by to say goodbye.
Okay, that was a success. It was a bit bumpy and it took a while, but there we were. 2 species of whale and a beautiful pod of bottlenose dolphins. Out the front on the sign you can see they've seen about 4 or 5 different species of dolphin in the previous 3 days. So I'm really glad we got to see the bottlenose dolphins because they're the most traditional, they're the ones we all think of, and I've never seen any before in the wild, only in an aquarium. So to see them out in the sea where they belong with 2 giant whales was a beautiful experience and definitely worth booking a whale watching tour when you come to the Azores. I mean, if you think about the location, there is honestly no better place to do it. And if you don't see whales, if you don't see dolphins, you can book to go on another tour for free because they pretty much guarantee that you'll see something at least. And today, they did not disappoint. That was brilliant.
A few days later, it was time to explore the volcanoes and the mountains of this beautiful island. I'll get into why it took me so long to come up here in a second, but you can get a taxi up here for just 20 euros from downtown, so it is easy to get here even if you don't have a car.
We had terrible weather. Holy moly. It just rained and it poured for 2 days. And then, yesterday, down in the town where I'm staying, the sky was blue and I thought, let's go for a hike. And so I packed my bag, jumped in a cab, and we came up the mountain. And the higher we got and the nearer to the volcano, the weather revealed itself. Its true sense. It was just super windy, super foggy, raining horizontally, and I checked the weather app and it was just going to stay like that for the rest of the day. So the Azores, the lesson I've learned, and here's a very important travel tip: don't trust what you see out the window. The clouds here, the rain here, the fog here stays on the peaks of the mountains in certain situations. You can, and this is what I learnt, you can check the webcams. So this morning I looked out, I saw blue skies and I checked the webcam and boom, it's clear. Well, it's still cloudy, but it's clearer than it was and it looks beautiful. So I've gotten up early and we're going to spend 3 hours hiking around the rim of the volcano. Probably the most beautiful part of the island, one of the most visited parts of the island, so hopefully we've gotten here early enough. But just look at this. Isn't this beautiful? The flowers are in bloom. The sun rays are coming through. Let me just show you how magical this forest is. I just come in here. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, nearly there. Don't look at the view, okay? I'm gonna block it for you. Wow. Look at this. It seems to be the highest point, almost the highest point of the whole hike. that is the trail. It goes up there, that's the highest point. Then it goes along the ridge, all the way around, down into that town. That's where we have lunch, and that's where you can get a bus back to town. Quite something. Look at this. You've got 3 lads there taking pictures. Absolutely insane views. Couple here. Solo female traveller there. Nobody here. The viewpoint's absolutely packed, and all we had to do was brave a few muddy puddles. This is awesome. Definitely come to these little side quest viewpoints. Doesn't look like many people have braved them. There's another couple there now. It really is not that difficult. It's just you do need to have your feet about you. Like, if you're scared of heights, just be careful, because this is the view if you slip and fall. But the view is just uninterrupted. You can't swim in the lakes, I've read, except for the big one. The big one, they have kayaking. That one's not protected, but that emerald green one, that is so stunning. That's a no swim zone. Oh, I've got company here. Someone's eagerly waiting to take a nice picture, so I won't linger too long. But my God, it's just good to shake those cobwebs and get out into the nature. There's quite a breeze here, but it's beautiful. Someone's flying their drone. I bet they get incredible shots. I'll fly my drone later, just more further onto the trail. I don't want to be one of those people with the drone, especially when there's loads of people there. Just let people enjoy the sound of the birds. And then when I'm on my own on a distant ridge, that's where I'll fly my drone, and then that's where you'll see this footage. Because it doesn't matter where you stand, it doesn't matter where you fly your drone, it doesn't matter where you put your camera, you're going to get incredible views. If you do the hike, which I'm going to share with you in a minute, as far as I'm aware, it looks like it's views the entire time, looking down into the crater, into this dormant volcano. Oh my God, it feels great. Are they still there? Oh, okay. Looks like they're trying a different ridge. They probably thought, that guy looks like he's going to talk to himself for a long time.
I used an app called Maps.me, by the way, to navigate this trail. The good thing about this app is you can download the maps before and use it without signal. The first part of the hike was up to the highest point, and the perfect place to tag before starting the hike along the volcano ridge.
Okay, this is the top. Let's just tag it for good luck. Okay, up there you can see that's the summit. I've come down and I've used one of these access roads. I think in a minute I can hear the quad bikes are coming. But this is actually the hiking trail as well. Here they come. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. It does look fun, but why do they come on the hiking trail? What a noisy bunch. Hopefully that's the last time we see them. don't think I've ever had a chocolate biscuit with such a view. Wow, you get very strange plants growing here. I've never seen this, but it's all over the trail. Oh, it's very spiky. It's got thorns all in it, all over it, underneath. This thing does not want to get eaten. Beautiful flower on there as well. I travel quite often, right? And I go to different parts of the world and I'm always amazed. I'm always surprised at the different fauna available on this planet to look at. And this one, the spiky broadleaf cabbage looking thing, high on my list of pleasurable plants. Wow, this is as near to the water as we've been. Could flick a penny in there. Wow, look at the ridge that we've walked along. I tell you what, we've earned that pint in that pub whenever we get there. Okay, I'm just making my way down now. I'd say definitely do it the way I did, guys. Definitely do it the way I did. There's a lot of people going the other direction and it is just uphill the whole time. If you think about it, that is the viewpoint and to the left is the Pico. That's the highest point, right? So we did the nice selfie, we took a nice video, then we went up to there, we tapped the thing, and then we just followed the ridge. And if you notice, it's constantly going downhill. Yes, there are a couple of little ups and downs, but you're going downhill the whole time, and then you loop around into that forest and down the hill into town.
Hello.
Oh, that looks difficult.
And yeah, I walked back into town and had that well-deserved pint.
Cheers.
And this concludes our first look into the Azores. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, drop me a message below. Next week, we'll continue to explore more of the Azores, but things will start to unravel. It turns out that there is a few issues that you need to know when you travel to this part of the world. To find out what happened and to experience more of the Azores, subscribe to the channel right now, or you can click here and watch the next episode.